Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's easy level puzzle. Now take that easiness with a grain of salt because it's considered easy by the people on the Logic Masters Germany forum, and there's a lot of really smart people there. Today's easy level puzzle is called Wild Horses, and it's by Brigitte, or BR1312TE. But I'm pretty sure it's Brigitte because she signs her puzzles usually as Brigitte. And let's get to the rules. Such a splendid view of wild horses galloping through the fields. Well, you can probably see it when the fog clears. Anyways, normal Sudoku rules apply, which means fill every row, column, and box with the digits 1 through 9 without repeats. Horses. Marked by tilted squares, there is a horse in every row, column, and box. All horses are marked. So this is a horse, this is a horse, and this is a horse. Friendly. Cells containing a horse index either the row, column, or box number, read in normal reading order. So normal reading order is specifically Western reading notation. And it's basically from left to right and top to bottom. So this would be essentially box 1. This would be box 2. This would be box 3, box 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So for a horse, it indexes either the row, the column, or the box, read in normal reading order for the box they're placed in. Each number assigned to a horse is unique and cannot be repeated. So every horse has its own unique number. So there cannot be repeats on a horse for all the horses. And this specific, so as an example, for friendly, the friendly rule set, this square, since it's a horse, it indexes either the row, which would be 2, the column, which would be 1, or the box, which would be 1, because this is in box 1. As another example, this could be, for example, the row, indexing the row, which would be 8, the column, which would be 9, or the box, which would be 9 also. So this would be 8 or 9. And that's how friendlies work. Anti-knight. Cells a chess knight's move away from a horse can't contain another marked horse. Okay. So that just means that this cell, since this is a horse, there can't in addition to not having a horse in the same row or column, because again, there's only one horse per row, column, and box, and also for box, so therefore there can't be a horse in any of the same row, column, or box. In addition to that, so these are not allowed to have a horse. A horse cannot be a knight's move away from another horse. So these are not allowed to be horses. And that's all we have there. Buddies. Each horse must have a buddy, a chess knight's move away from it, containing the same number. So in addition to these cells not having essentially another horse in it, you have to have whatever digit this is, say it's A, you have to have another digit that's a knight's move away, which is 2 in one direction and 1 in the perpendicular direction. It also has to contain an A, at least one of these 8. And it could be more, but one of these 8 has to contain the same number. That's a knight's move away. And that's buddies. And then finally, we have crop key dots. Or actually, I guess that's not finally. We have fog also, but the field is covered in fog. Placing correct digits will clear the fog around the cell. So if you correctly place a digit here, it would clear all the fog surrounding it and the fog surrounding its own cell, right? So they would clear the 9 cells that are essentially contiguous with it. That's how fog works. And then we have Kropke dots, where digits joined by a white dot are consecutive, and this is a white dot. Digits joined by a black dot are in a 1-to-2 ratio. So if this were, say, a 6, this would have to be a 5 or a 7 to make sure that these digits are consecutive with each other. Now, if you had a black dot somewhere, say you had a black dot, I don't know, here. If this were, say, a 2, this would have to be a 1 or a 4 to maintain a 1-to-2 ratio between these digits. And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay, the one thing that pops up to my mind is this cell. Since this is a wild horse, it must index the row, which would be a 5, the column, which would be a 5, or the box, which would be a 5, and therefore this has to be a 5. So this is 5. This has to be 4 or 6. If this were 6, though, the problem is that this would then be in a 1-to-2 ratio with another number, and it can only be in a 1-to-2 ratio number with a 3. So this cannot be 6, this has to be 4, which makes this a 2 or an 8. This, again, the row is either 1, the row is 2, the column is 1, and the box is 1. So this is 1 or 2, which means it must be with 1, 2, or 3. We're not sure which. Similarly here, the row is 8, so this is 8, the column is 9, and the box is 9, so this is 8 or 9. The remaining digits here. So, okay. We know this is a horse, this is a horse, and this is a horse. The horse cannot be any of these cells because, again, horses cannot be knight's moves away from each other, so these can't be a horse because this is a knight's, these two are knight's move away from this, and this one sees this. Cannot be here, so one of these two must be a horse. So none of these can be horses. Obviously, none of these can be horses. None of these can be horses. And none of, let's see, these, or these can be horses. And this can't, well, you have to include these. And these two can't be horses because of knight's move. And these two can't be horses because of knight's move. So where is the horse in box 8? It has to be one of these two, which means neither of these can be the horse. One of these two is a horse. Because none of these could be horse, none of these could be horse. So this can't be a horse, which means this has to be the horse. Similarly here, neither of these two can be, these two can't be the horse because one of these two is a horse. So one of these two has to be a horse, but it cannot be either of these two, so therefore, sorry, one of these two has to be a horse, which means this can't be a horse. Actually, this can't be a horse because of this. This is a knight's move away. Therefore, this is a horse. This can't be horse. This has to be a horse. This can't be a horse because of knight's move away from here. Therefore, this is a horse, which means this can't be a horse, which means this is a horse, and this is a horse. Okay, so we can remove all the reds. So these are all the horses then. What else do we know? One of these is a 2. The remaining digits here are 1, 2, 8, 9, and 6. Okay. Oh, okay, what can this be? It can be row 1. It can be box 2 or column 4. But that means Yeah, it can't be 4 specifically because this is a 4. So we have a 1, 2, 1, 2 pair now for the horses. So none of the other horses can be 1 or 2. Similarly, what is this? This could be row 3, it could be column 7, or box 3. So this is 3 or 7. This could be row 7, column 3, or box 7. So this is 3 or 7 also. This could be row 4. So now we have a 3, 7, 3, 7 pair up in the horses, which eliminates 3 and 7 from the rest of the horses. This could be row 4, column 8, or box 6. So this is 4, 6, or 8. This could be row 6, column 2, but the 2 is removed because we have a 1, 2 pair in the horses, or box 4. So this is 4, 6. This can be row 9, column 6, box 8. So this is 6, 8, or 9. Okay. So that marks that. Well, one thing we know is whatever this digit is, say it's A, it has to have, well, let's do this one. This is A. It has to have a knight's move away, another digit, which is the same as it, which is because of the buddy rule. So this must be an A here. This also has to have a digit that is a knight's move away, that is also a buddy, which is the same digit. So whatever this digit is can only be here or here, because these two knights moves away are in the same box, and it can't be the same digit. So it must be here as the same digit. Well, one of these then has to be 1 or 2. This is a 1 or 2, which means in this box you cannot longer have a 1 or 2 in the rest of the cells. So this cannot be 1 or 2, therefore this must be a 3, which forces this to be 2, which forces this to be 1. So the 1 has to be one of these two cells. If it were 1 here, it would have to be consecutive with a 2, but we already have a 2 in that box, so this cannot be 1, therefore this is a 1. This 5 is consecutive with 4 or 6, so this is 4 or 6. Also, well, let's continue then. These two are consecutive, so it could be 6, 7, 7, 8, or 8 and 9. We're not sure which. The 2 has to be here because it needs a digit that's a knight's move away. Whatever this digit is has to be here, but it could be 6, 8, or 9, so we're not sure what that is then. This can't be 2, therefore this must be 8. Which means the remaining digits in box 5 cannot be 8. This cannot be 8. We now have a 4, 6, 4, 6 pair in the horses, so the rest of the horses cannot be 4 or 6. So this has to be 8 or 9 here. Which means the other 8 or 9 is one of these two. And we're not sure which. This can't be 2. This can't be 1 because of this 1. What digits can this be? You could have a 2 here and then 3 here. You cannot have 4. You could have 5, 6, but this would be 5 and that would be 6. Oh, hold up. We already know this is 3, so this can't be 3, therefore this must be 7. Which forces this to be a 3, because that's the only digit remaining. 5 is next to 4 or 6. Well, this has to be 8 or 9. The 4 or 6 is in a 1 to 2 ratio with 2, 3, or 8, right? If this is 4, this could be 2 or 8. If this is 6, this has to be 3. Four or 6 is only consecutive with 3, 5, or 7, and 3 and 7 are both not possible because they both see this cell. Therefore, this must be 5. So this is 5. The 7 is not a knight's move from 7 here. Cannot be 7 here. It could be either of these 7s, or this could be 7. Okay, so yeah, what are the possibilities here? So 5, actually, 5 cannot be here, and can't be here. Whereas the 5 in box 2, it has to be here. So this is 5, it has to be next to a 4 or 6. 5 also cannot be here, or here, or here, or here. So it has to be here. So this is a 5, which means 5 has to be one of these 3, and 5 has to be one of these 3. This is the same as that digit. This 7 cannot be a knight's move away here or here because it's in the same box. Cannot be here because this is a 5. Can't be here or here because they all see that 7. So it can't be here because that's a 5. So it must be here. So this must be the buddy 7. So that's a 7. This 3 cannot be here and cannot be here. Where else can it be in this box? It has to be here. So this is a 3, which means one of these two is a 3. We're not sure which. So 3 does have a buddy here already, so that's fine. Okay, so what can this be? This could be 2 and 3 if this is 3 and that's 2. It cannot contain a 1. It cannot contain a 4. It cannot contain 5 because the 5 is eliminated in both of these cells. It could be 6, 7, and that's it. It can never be 8, 9, or 7, 8. And only 6, 7 if this is 6 and this is 7. Okay. So this is 2 or 6 with 3 or 7. Five has to be one of these 3 cells. So this 1 has a buddy, this 2 has a buddy, this 3 has a buddy, this 7 has a buddy. So 7 has to be one of these 2 cells. 7 also has to be one of these 2 cells. 7 can be any of these 4. The remaining digits here are 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. But we have a 4, 6 pair here in column 2, which eliminates 4 and 6 from the rest of the column, so this can't be 4 or 6. The remaining digits are 5, 7, 8, and 9. This is 5, 7, 8, and 9 here. Remaining digits here could be 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, or 9. That's pretty broad. Remaining digits here are 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9. But this can't have a 1 here, so it's just 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So this is 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. If this were 6 here, it could not be consecutive with any of these digits here because it must have be consecutive with 5 or 7. So this can never be 6. Similarly, if this is 9, it's not consecutive with any 8 here, so therefore this can't be 9. This could be 1 with 2. This could be 2 with 3. 4 goes with 5. 6 and 4 go with 5. 6 goes with 7. 8 goes with 7 or 9, so those are all kosher. Okay. Friendly. The rest of these digits cannot be 4 or 6, so you can have 1, 2, 3, 5, but this can't be 5. 8 or 9. This sees both 8 and 9s for the horses, so this cannot be 8 or 9. One of these two is 8 or 9. Is the other 8 or 9 here, so this cannot be 8 or 9. And that's all we have, really. This still could be 1, 2. It could be 2, 4 if this is a 4. It could be 4, 8 as long as this is the 4. So this could be 4 and 8 here. And it could be 3 and 6 as long as this is 3 and this is 6. So it's pretty broad. Okay, so let's label this digit A. This is A. This has to be B. Therefore, this must be A because it has to be the same digit. Sorry, it has to be the opposite digit of this one. This has to be B. So B cannot be here. It can't be any of these. And it can't be here. So B has to be one of these two, which means this can't be B. This has to be A. So this is A, which means this can't be A. This can't be A, and this can't be A, and this can't be A. So A has to be here. Okay. Hmm. That means A has to be one of these three, which is kind of broad. Seven's one of those two. This can't be 3. So this can well, it's to be 4. So this can no longer be 2, though, because if this were 2, it would have to be next to a 1 or 3, and neither of those could be 1 or 3. This can't be 3. Okay. None of the remaining cells in this box can be A or B, so it can't be 4 or 6. So it would have to be 1, 2, 3, 8, 9. because we have a 4, 6, 4, 6 pair here, which means this can't be 4 or 6. This can't be 4 or 6. So this can't be 6. This then becomes, well, this can't be 2, so this must be 8 or 9. This has to be 3, 7, 8, or 9, which means 3 has to be one of these two digits. So B could be any of these three. That's fine. If B is 4, that's fine. That satisfies that. We have A, which is a knight's move away from another A, so that's fine. That one's solved. B cannot be any of these. It could be either here. It cannot be here, because this can't be 4 or 6. Or it could be the 4, obviously. This one has to be here. Oh. Well, there you go. We'll label this one, I don't know, Z. This is Z, and this will be Y. Y has to be one of these two here. And this Z must be here. So this is Z. And where is the Z in column 7? Can't be here, can't be here because of the Z's in those boxes. Can't be either of these because it can't be an 8 or 9. Therefore, it must be here. So this has to be a Z. Let's mark this as uppercase, or not uppercase, so that we can see these. So this is 4, 6 also. This is 8 or 9. This is Y. So the Y has to be one of these two cells. We don't know which. Then it also has to be one of these two cells. Z has to be here. Z can no longer be then any of these cells, and it can't be any of these cells because that's not an 8 or 9. So Z has to be this cell, which means this is an 8 or 9. It can only be with 7, 8, or 9. We now have a 7, 8, 9 triplet in box 1, which eliminates 7, 8, and 9 from the rest of the box. So this cannot be 7, 8, or 9. It has to be 4 or 6, which makes that a B. So this cannot be B. So one of these is a Y, which means, and we have a 7, 8, 9 triplet in row 1, which eliminates 7, 8, and 9 from the rest of the row. So this cannot be 8. This can't be 1, 8, or 9. This has to be 2 or 3. Therefore, this cannot be 2 or 3. One of these is a 1. The other one is a Y, which means this can't be Y here. Therefore, this is a Y. One of these is a Y. This has to be the Y. This has to be the Z. This cannot be 8 or 9 because we have an 8, 9 pair now in row 2. Therefore, this is 3 or 7. Therefore, one of these is a Z. We're not sure which. Oh, this can never be 8 and 9 here. So 9 can never be any of these because therefore it would have to be consecutive with the 8. So none of these can be 9. This still could be 8 here, though. Let's see. Z is not here, so Z must be one of these two. Therefore, Z has to be one of those two. Okay. Y again is one of those two. Y is one of these two. Y is here. Z has to be one of those two. Um, this 5 needs a 5 that's a knight's move away. None of these can be 5, none of these can be 5, and none of these can be 5. This can't be 5. Well, where's the only other knight's move away that could have a 5? It has to be here. So this has to be a 5, which means it's next to a 4 or 6. And we know this is the A, so this must be the B one, right? We have a 4-6, 4-6 pair now. Okay, these can't be 5. We have a 4-6, 4-6 pair in column 5, which eliminates 4 and 6 from the rest of the column. So this can't be 4 or 6, this can't be 4 or 6, and this can't be 4 or 6. This cannot be Y or Z, right? And they're both separate. So this cannot be 8 or 9. This has to be 1 or 2. And 1 or 2 specifically has to be with 2 or 3. Obviously, these can't be 5 anymore. So this has to be a 2 here. It's either 1, 2, or it's 2, 3. So therefore, one of these is a 2, which eliminates 2 from the rest of the box and the rest of the row. So this can't be 2, and these can't be 2. This then is 2 or 3, which means if this were 2 or 3, that would eliminate all possibilities for that cell. So this cannot be 2 and 3. It has to be 6 and 7. So this is 6, this is 7, which makes that a 3. This can't be 6, this can't be 6 or 7. So it must be 3 or 3 has to be one of these two digits here then. Well, you already kind of knew that, I guess. So Y is one of these two. We're not sure which. B has to be here. This has to, okay, so this can't, so all the A's are 4s. So this is a 4, this is a 4, this is a 4, which makes this a 6, which makes that 3, which makes that 2. This is a 4. This then has to be a 6. Aha. This 4 already has a 4 that's a knight's move away, but the 6 does not. And this can't be a 6, so one of these two has to be a 6. So the 6 has to be one of these. But this can't be 4, so this is a 6, which means this can't be 6, so this is the only 6 possible that's a knight's move away from this horse, which would be its buddy. So this is a 6. This is a 5 then, which means none of these could be 5. What are the remaining digits then? This is a 6. One of these has to be 8 to be consecutive. It's either 7, 8, or 8, 9. 7, 9 does not work. So one of these is an 8, which means this cannot be 8. Therefore, one of these is an 8. One of these is 2. This can't be 6. The remaining digits here are what? 1, 6, 7, and 9. And this cannot be 7. So therefore, 1, 6, 7, 9, 1, 6, 7, 9. And neither of these can be 6s. So this is 179, 179. Ah, where is the 2 in box 6? Can't be here, can't be this one because of the buddies. Can't be here because of this 2, so it must be here. So this must be 2, and it can be either with 1 or 4. So 4 could be here, 1 could be either of these, but 2 has to be one of these 2. Where's then the 3 in box 6? It has to be this one. So this is a 3, which means, and this can't be 3. We know 2 has to be one of these 2 digits, because that's the only possibility in the column. 3 has to be one of these 3 digits, because again, 3 cannot be here. So 3 has to be one of these 2. 3 is also one of those 2. Well, that's kind of given. This can't be 4, so this must be 6. Where are the remaining 6s? Well, this can't be 6. This can't be 8. Where is the 8 then? In box 4. Can't be here, can't be here. It has to be here. So this is an 8. We're not sure if that's Z or Y. Oh, we do, actually. We know. This can't be 8. Where is the 8 in row 7? Or sorry, row 6. It cannot be any of these because we already have an 8 in the box. Can't be here because it has to be with a 1-to-2 ratio with 2. Therefore, it must be here, which means Z is an 8. So this is an 8. This is an 8. This has to be a 9 then. So this Y has to be here. So this has to be a 9. So this can't be 9. This is 3. This is 2. This is 1. This can't be 1 or 9. So this is 8, which makes that a 9. This can't be 8. So therefore, this must be an 8. And this can't be 8 here. This can't be 9, so this must be an 8, which makes this 7 or 9. So it still could be Y in either of those spots. 8 cannot be here. 9 is one of these 2. So let's okay, so then this can no longer be 9. It has to be 8 because of the 8. This is the Z is the 9. Sorry, is the 8. These can't be 8. This can't be 9. This is 2 or 8. This is 2 or 8, but this can't be 8 because of that 8. So this must be 2, which makes that an 8. Let's remove the outer stuff. The outer stuff. The remaining digits have to be 1, 4, and 7. 1, 4, 7, 9. And this cannot be 4. So therefore, this has to be the 4. This cannot be 7, so this is 1 or 9. This can't be 4, therefore this is a 1, 2, 1, 2 pair here, which eliminates 1 and 2 from the rest of the box, so this can't be 1. This has to be 6 or 9. Let's remove the outsides because it's make things clearer. What are the remaining digits then? 2 cannot be here, so 2 has to be here specifically. So this can't, and this can't be 2, 3, or 5, so this must be 1. This can't be 1. This cannot, this has to be a 2 because there's no other place for it in the column, so this must be 2. This can't be 9. This can't be 9. So the remaining digits now, this cannot be 1, so this is 9, which makes that a 1. This 9 forces that to be a 5. Okay, do we have all the buddies? The 1 has its buddy, the 2 has its buddy, the 3 has its buddy, the 4 has its buddy, the 5 has its buddy, the 6 has its buddy, the 7 has its buddy, the 8 has its buddy, the 9 does not. So this has to be a 9, which means this can't be 9, so this is 6, which makes that a 9. This 6 means this can't be a 6, so this is 1, which makes that a 2, which makes that 1, which makes that 2. This 9 eliminates that 9, so this is 1. This can't be 1 or 2, so this is 6. This can't be 1. Let's remove the outer stuff again. So this is 7 or 9. This is 7 or 9. So we've got all our buddies too now, because the 9 has its buddy too. Remaining digits now, this is probably just Sudoku then. The remaining digits here are 6 and 7. This can't be 6, so this must be 7, which makes this 6. Remaining digits here are 3 and 4. This can't be 3, so this is 4. That makes that 3. This remaining digit is a 7, so that's 7, which makes that a 9. This 7 also makes that a 9, which makes that 7, which makes that 9, which makes that 7. The remaining digits here are 1 and 4. This can't be 1, so this is 4, which makes that 1. That leaves remaining here is a 4, and this must be a 7. And we look at the flowers bloom. Pretty cool, actually. I liked the idea that the horses do not allow horses a knight's move away. I'm not good at seeing the chess knight's move away when it involves Sudoku digits. But when it revolves like special cells, it actually made things pretty good for me. So therefore, I was able to find where all the horses were pretty quickly. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this solve, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.